Today's video covers the March 2025 Montreal Auto Show. Now, I know most people uploaded their videos right after the event and the internet was flooded with them. I, on the other hand, chose the strategic approach of waiting until just before the upcoming 2025 Toronto Auto Show, which is in October, to post my video. You know, to help stir up excitement for that audio show. Either that or I'm just really good at procrastinating. Who knows? One day Harley from Pro Acoustics called me up. Hey Thomas, I'm heading to Expona. Now since I'll already be in North America, why don't I swing by and grab lunch with you? Sure, that sounds great. Except the day he picked happened to be just at the same time as the Montreal Audio Show. So I said, hey Harley, why don't we get a room? Yeah, I know, that did not sound right. What I meant was, let's share a room at the show and have some fun with it. Now, for me, it was all for fun. I hadn't even planned on booking a room since the Galion products I'll bring were either on their way out, meaning I would be discontinuing them soon, or not quite ready for mass production. But you know what? I thought, why not? Let's do it. Even it meant spending thousands of dollars and sacrificing sleep during the marathon setup. It was a great chance to meet many of you at the show and showcase what the sibelius speakers could really do. You know, years back I made a video about the sibelius, and the comment section was, let's just say, skeptical. Single driver 4-inch? No way there's bass. Thomas must have been paid off. Totally fake. Well, this was my chance to clear my name once and for all. Now poor Harley, though he thought Montreal would be a relaxing pre-Expona vacation, nope. I put him straight to work, and by the end, he probably swore he'll never set foot in Montreal again. Now, jokes aside, it was an absolute pleasure having him here. Loic from Hi-Fi Cave joined us too, and we had a fantastic time. The best part, thanks to Harley's help, we absolutely blew people away at the Montreal Audio Show. Alright, it's Thomas here. I captured Joseph from the famous YouTube channel. Here, you pronounce it.
Psyphonyx audio.
Ah, there you go.
It's actually misspelled here. There's supposed to be a Y.
Really? Okay, so you got to listen to the sibelius yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And I've been telling everybody, look man, that 4-inch cone has bass.
Yes.
It'll be able to reproduce bass. Not only that, accurate bass, clean bass, you know, fast bass.
Yep.
So we play this drum solo. I've been like letting everybody listen to it. It's like everybody's homework when they get into my room. So, what do you think?
I think it was amazing. I couldn't believe, because I'm a drummer and I actually know what drums sound like and what they feel like.
Yeah.
And the impact of the low frequencies really surprised me. You know, you see my facial expressions when I was in the realm. I was like, how? How is this possible? So all of the high frequencies were still present. All of the low frequency, like transients and quickness, completely there. The whole room shook. When the bass drum came in, the lower toms were there. The whole room was shaking. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how is this possible?
Yeah.
But they're truly amazing. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, everybody's jaw dropped, man, when they listen to it, right? And 20 watt, that's what we use, right? The Class A amp?
20 watts Class A with that kind of driver, I believe he was saying that the efficiency or the dynamic capability of
it's 87 dB. That speaker is 87 or 89?
I guess I should say the transient sensitivity of a smaller driver versus a larger driver. They're able to move and stop, and with the reinforcement of the cabinet and everything, the engineering's just spot on. I seriously still can't believe it. I got to go back and listen again.
I see. I wish I captured his emotion. He was like next to me and he was like looking at me like with his face like, what the hell is this,
Yes,
right?
Yeah, no lie. I was literally, and that's a genuine reaction. I was like, how is this possible? I couldn't believe it.
Right.
But it's legit.
Yeah,
it's seriously legit.
Yeah, so all those people on the internet, 4-inch driver, no bass. No, man. Everybody's like, shit, you
That's
know?
The truth. It is the truth. It's serious.
Yeah. All right, we're good. I'll buy you breakfast now. So let's kick off the video with the Klisph Room. Now, I've already created a dedicated video specifically for Klisph. So if you want all the details, be sure to check that out. Now, at this show, Klisph unveiled their new La Scala and Klisph horn speakers. The room they were in was massive, so keep that in mind before being too critical. It's no easy task to make speakers sound their best in a concert hall size space, yet I think they did okay given the tough challenge. Now what I really like about the new version is the bass. The older La Scala had this texture quality to its low end, but it wasn't exactly what you call punchy. The new one though, man, it hits, and you can actually feel that visceral kick in the chest. Pair that with the horn's ability to throw sound into the room like no other speakers, you got a commanding presence. Sure, it can be a little bit shouty, but for those who like it, it's spectacular. For me, this new La Scala addresses the bass problem that I know many owners have been facing. By the way, funny moment. So I ran into this audio buddy of mine in that room while they were blasting AC/DC. He leaned over and said, "Man, I'm getting a headache." I turned to him and said, "If you're listening to AC/DC and you're not getting a headache, man, you're doing it wrong." So from chatting with folks, it seems that the room split people down the middle. About half loved the new Klisph while the other half didn't. The people who do, interestingly enough, usually already own Klisph or single driver speakers, which also have that projection characteristic. Love it or not, it was absolutely a room worth visiting. And finally, let me show you a photo of how they showcase those massive Klisph subwoofers. Let's just say, man, if you put those in your house, you get to know your neighbors really fast. Now for the big highlight, the Galion-Audio and Sibelius Room, aka the reason you're actually watching this video. Now let me be honest, the night before the show, I nearly cried. The setup sounded like absolute garbage. We had the Sibelius on the short wall, and the soundstage, well, let's just say it sounded mediocre. We tried everything, moved panels, stacked bass traps, summoned the audio gods. At one point, I looked at my audio buddy, Mr. Kanta, and said, if anyone complains, we'll just blame the room. That's what everyone does at the show, right? Fortunately, we were determined, and I was confident that we would get it to sound good. Eventually, we moved the setup to the long wall, and wow, man, magic. The first song we played, both Harley and I nearly teared up. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but you get my point. The soundstage exploded wide open, the bass raw to life, and I guarantee half the people who walked in thought we were hiding subwoofers somewhere. Fabien, the designer of my Galion TS A20 amplifier, which was showcased in this show, said, "Damn, Thomas, man, this sounds even better than at your home." So during the show, Harley would play a solo drum track he recorded. Every time that song played, jars were hitting the floor.
I was like, how? How is this possible? I couldn't believe it.
And here's the kicker. All that bass was driven by the Galion amp Fab designed. Well, he's a Canadian designer, and it's just only 20 watts. 20. This is where I usually tell people chasing monster 200 watt amps, it's not about the quantity of watts, it's about the quality watts. Oh, and for those who still complain about my TS-P75 preamp doesn't have any XLR inputs, Fab's upcoming solid state preamp does. You're welcome. And this, we showcase it at the Montreal Audio Show. So the feedback in our room was amazing. People would walk in saying our friends told us to check out this room, what's so special about it, and every single one of them left with eyes wide and heads shaking in the
I'm blown away.
disbelief. Honestly, man, our reputation was riding on this, and I couldn't be prouder that we delivered. Huge thanks to Harley, who manned the room for 3 days. Poor Harley, I swear, man, I worked him so hard. He might be scarred for life and never want to step in another audio show again. Saturday night, that's the second day of the audio show. I also invited Mako Audio to demo their Macaria speakers in our room for an hour. Great idea in theory, but what happens is that they had zero time to set up. Zero, not even one song. And one of the bass woofers wasn't properly connected. So we only realized later when a bass track revealed one woofer was basically on vacation. So the Macarius uses an external crossover box, so it was an easy mistake. And to make matters worse, the synergy with the Galion TS-820 was not the best. Only once we reconnected the woofer, the one that was not connected, and swapped in the TS-34 did the magic finally show itself. By then, many folks had already left disappointed and didn't get to hear what the Macarius could really do. With one woofer missing, it sounded bright, but after properly set up, it balanced beautifully, and the bass, man, it blew away the people who stayed. Now, Mako will have a chance to redeem themselves at the upcoming Toronto Audio Show, the one in October. Now, I might go borrow their room for an hour on Friday to demo my upcoming new products, if I'm not too lazy, who knows. But the point is, for those of you who have heard it in the Montreal Audio Show, go listen to it at the Toronto Audio Show so you can see what they can really do. Next is the Altitudo room. Now, I've talked about them at every show, so I was determined not to talk about them this year. However, I do want to say that there is something very special in their room that I filmed that I have to share. And I have to say, every time I enter Altitudo's room, their setup is very good. No bloaty bass. In fact, last year I asked them to help fix my room because I had a bass issue. What I also like about them is the products they carry are not mainstream, but they are all worthy of your time because their team are very good at picking good products. In fact, they introduced me to Electro Compagnet way before the internet discovered them. They understand synergy really well, and usually after the show or before the show, I would drop by their room just to listen to the new stuff they have. So if you're in Canada and need advice on how to build a good system, check them out. You know, they are probably the only team that is able to sell 5 or 6 pair of speakers at an audio show. That's because they know how to impress people. All right, so who are you?
Okay, my name is Jim Levier, and I do the marketing for TriArt Audio. And we have today the Hartley reference speaker. And Hartley is a speaker company that dates back all the way to 1937. And everything on this speaker is made in Canada. The drivers are made by TriArt. Everything is made by TriArt in Canada. So this is the Hartley reference speaker reimagined. In other words, all the same crossovers. The drivers are built by us now instead of Hartley, and the box cabinet is built by us.
Can I just cut you?
Yeah.
Did you say 1937?
1937.
Okay, the first original version.
The original versions of Hartley, not necessarily the speaker. Hartley, you might remember, they had the Concert Master. They made drivers for the Moody Blues, the Who, the rock and roll genre was all Hartley. Hartley began in England, then moved to the United States, where the family, Richard's family, ran it until they sold it to TriArt 2 years ago.
Okay. So tell me about the speaker then.
Okay, so this is part of a line, a reference line. We have the Compact Classic right here, the smaller version of this. Then we have the reference, and then we have the reference tower, which is not here. You don't see that one. It's bigger. It's kind of like two of these. Okay. As an approximation.
You know, 1937, somebody comes out with a speaker like this. I don't know, man. It's like ahead of its time. Or
yeah, exactly. The Hartley has an unbelievable following. To date, I get emails saying, I have my Hartley Concert Master. Will you replace the 24-inch drivers? 24-inch drivers in there, and we will be making those drivers. So yes, so we already have repairs set up to come in starting in about June or July. This is a pre-production model. So this model is sort of like a beta users group. We're looking for people who want to use this speaker and come back to us and tell us that we'll offer it for a very good price.
How much?
I have the sheet in the other day, but this is a $3,900 speaker for $2,000 for anybody who wants to be in the beta reference group.
2,000?
2,000, yes.
Only?
Only. Canadian.
Each?
Canadian, no, pair.
A pair?
Yes, a pair.
That's like...
$3,900 normally for a pair. TriArt is a different company. Steve, going all the way back to his origins as an audio dealer himself, wanted to be able to have the ability to let everyone try to own a good high-end product without having to take all their money and all out of their bank accounts or their budget. So Steve has always been about phenomenal value for the speaker he makes. And if you had any idea the passion that he puts into this, you would see that he's not repaid for his efforts in any way, shape, or form. He has a very successful art paint supply business, and this is not a hobby. This is a passion. Like this is beyond just fooling around. But this is definitely a dedication to trying to make a superior product at a great price. So the uniqueness of the Hartley driver, being that they originated it, is this voice coil. If you play this speaker at sort of, not recommended, but sound deafening levels, you will literally feel the air coming out of here, and it's very cool. That means the driver stays cool. It's very efficient design. And so whether you underpower it or overpower it, it's not going to be that relevant. It is relevant, of course, but you will feel the cooling effect, so the coil stays cool. So these were resilient drivers. They're going to last a long time. And they sound great. They really do.
So Harley, after this, I'm going to interview you on what you think of these speakers.
Okay. Oh my God.
No pressure.
No. I'll listen closely.
Leonard, you better tell Harley you're going to buy him supper tonight. Well, we just heard this. Looks like I don't know what from outer space. Looks very interesting. The speaker, the reference.
Hartley reference.
Okay, I like to make some joke on it, but I think I'll restrain myself from that. So we have a whole room this morning from Altitudo, and I asked Harley to come join us to listen to these speakers. Now, because there are four, we're three. I'm not going to ask Harley to say all the bad things about these speakers. All right, so Harley, just give a few first impression of what you think of these speakers. How's that? That's fair? All right?
Okay.
There you go.
Well, there's one big problem with the speakers, and that is Hartley, and it should be Harley, which is my name, of course. But that out of the way, I don't know how long these have been in development, and I understand these are tryout, right? Is that correct? Yeah. So, excellent job. Really fabulous. I love the voices, beautifully positioned. Everything was clear. I was hearing way beyond left, way beyond right, even in these difficult conditions. Fabulous, fabulous job, to be honest with you. And you say that the tweeter is adjustable, so you can adjust that. Well, that's great, because you could hear on the last track we played, the Jackson Browne, it was a little bit, for me, on the bright side, but on the Beethoven Symphony 4, it was fantastic. So really, you got all the colour of all of those instruments beautifully done. You didn't exaggerate anything. And I know you said at the beginning about the low end. I mean, it doesn't go deep, but it didn't spoil the enjoyment. That was really lovely for me. I'd much rather have that than overpowered bass just to wow, because it always disturbs everything else. So yeah, great job. It's lovely. I really like them. I think they're a very unusual design and shape. So that's not everybody's going to love it. Some people will. Some people will say that's not for me. But I thought they were really good, excellent from an audio point of view, enjoyable.
All right, that's great. I got nothing to add. I think Harley just covered everything. It's just the sense of space is very interesting when you sit. It's different. That's what stood out to me, right? The voice was very nice, but of course they cheated. They put this beautiful 845 tube amp that cost $1 gazillion. So no wonder the voice was beautiful. All right, I think that's about it for this room. Next up, audio research. Let me roll the interview I did with them. All right, Val. Do I tell them that you're who you are and stuff like that, or you do yourself, man?
Up to you.
Yeah, you do yourself. Who are you?
I am Valerio Cora. I'm the CEO of Cora Acoustics Corporation and Audio Research Corporation.
Okay. So that means if I buy an audio research something, I get a very good price from you, right?
Absolutely.
I got it on camera, okay?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna hold him to it. So, your speaker.
Yes.
Okay, I actually heard the speaker last year in a secret room at the back somewhere in Toronto. And I was blown away. It's very good. Finally, you are launching it.
Yes.
And it's supposed to be more affordable, right? That is it? That's the line.
It's still not inexpensive. It's $17,000 a pair, but Canadian.
Right.
But compared to our other speakers, it's much more affordable. It's within the reach of somebody who truly wants high-end audio and can't afford these $1 million systems.
Okay.
We're trying to bring high-end audio to a reasonable level. And I know it's still expensive. I'm not going to say it's cheap, because it's not.
All right. So what's so special about it then? I'll give you 2 minutes, your elevator pitch. Sell me that speaker now.
I don't have an elevator pitch, Thomas. You know me better than that. I tell you to sit down and listen. I let you make up your own mind. I itch. And, people come up to me and ask me all the time, why does it sound like this? So I'll tell you why it sounds like this. Yes, because the cabinets we use, the drivers we use, the crossover parts, there is no compromise. Even in these speakers, there's very selective design choices, but those design choices were done to minimize the compromises as much as possible. It's still Accuton drivers. It's still all Mundorf crossover parts. It's still all Cardass cabling inside, and it's a stone cabinet, so there's really no real compromise there to speak of. Those are all the key words that all these $100,000 speakers give you. The reality is people walk in and they think these speakers are $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. That's what they sound like.
What is the advantage of making that speaker in granite? Is it granite or is it?
These are in marble. One
Marble.
of the design choices was to make it in marble because it's simpler for us to work it. That's one of the reasons we got the price down. It's also a conventional shape. It's a standard rectangular box. Instead of doing either our trunciated pyramid or another shape, which actually does help the sonic qualities. Our more expensive speakers do have more detail and more inner air and so on and so forth. They also demand the electronics to do that. These are much more forgiving of speakers.
Why marble?
Because the job of any cabinet is to hold the speaker exactly and totally still and not absorb any energy. And Mother Nature gave us the perfect material. It's stone.
I've always been a fan of the i50 tube integrated amp. It has that smooth classic character I really enjoy. Sure, it doesn't sound like a modern tube amp, but honestly, that's exactly its charm. It leans into that timeless tube warmth instead of pretending to be something else. So at the show though, I had the chance to listen to the new i70, and wow, it felt much more dynamic and transparent. Now this for me sounded like the new tube sound. Well, I would love to try it at my home. So Audio Research, if you're watching this video, you know how to get in touch with me. Guess who is here at the show? Here, let's turn it around. What do you think about the Audio Research, Adrian?
They're really, really good. I'm not a dealer, so I'm saying this unbiasedly. It's very good. If you heard the demo cut that Val was playing it just now, you'll tell. I think it's rated at 35 watts or something like that? Is it 35?
I think it's 50.
This one is the i70. Might be a bit more. Could be 70 watts. Right. It doesn't sound like 70. It's very, very powerful. Yeah, these little speakers are kicking some serious butt.
Yeah, those speakers, man, they're made of what are they made of again? They're made of marble.
Yeah,
Sorry?
marble enclosure
Right.
with Accuton drivers. Yeah.
I see.
This is his lovely wife.
Yes.
She's the one responsible for all the colors and design and so on. Val just pretends he knows what he's doing.
A unique marble. You can see if it's cut one way, it looks. You see this pattern, and if it's cut the other way, you see the pattern we have on the side. So.
Okay, now we know who the real boss is at the company. All right.
Absolutely.
Shit. Damn it.
Don't believe this. We've got subwoofers.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. Here.
Don't believe. We've got subwoofers.
Subwoofer. Oh. No subwoofer. No, no. Wait. I bet there's subwoofer here, man. It's crazy.
Will this sound pick up? You think? I don't know if your mic will pick up the bass. It's incredible.
That's insane, man. You're gonna be famous on YouTube. All right, we got Audio Quest here. For the Audio Quest cable room. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys don't want to talk about cables and it's all, you know what. But you know, at the audio show, what I find cool is that they reverse all the electronics in the room to show you the cables. I know. So once again, it's about cables, so I'm not gonna spend time on it. It's not easy showcasing cables, especially at a show. Kudos to them for coming up and attempting to generate interest at this show. Now, what I was surprised was that they make morning cables now. Audio Quest also make power conditioners. They've probably been doing it for a long time, and I've been living under a cave and didn't know about it. But, you know, I figure I'll share this info here. Another pair of speakers I found interesting at the show was these David acoustic speaker called The Wall. The name I think is well chosen, right? Really interesting design, very slim, a hint of vintage design flavor with the finishing. It was driven by Baetis tube amps, and for those who don't know, Baetis are quite expensive. I guess it makes sense because these speakers were like 40 grand, and when a system is over 60 grand, we expect the world. It's hard for me to comment on it because the room was so big that, you know, you can fit a basketball court in it. All I remembered was that, yeah, it sounded pretty good. As to how it was good, I don't remember the details, forgive me. The Baetis tube amp was really nice. It had 4 KT 170 tubes, and I loved the finishing. I like chrome finish, a bit old style, and I was actually considering doing the same with my Galion products. Now, how I wish I can chat with the designer of the speakers, because I wonder, by building the speaker this way, right, really flat, very wide, what was he hoping to achieve? Does it give better imaging? Does it give bigger soundstage? Why? Anyway, interesting. Next is the sound choice room. Now, I'll throw the gear list up on screen so you can start calculating how many packs of instant noodles you need to eat so you can save up money in order to afford it. Now, the first thing that caught my attention wasn't even the sound. It was the backdrop. Stylish, and it paired nicely with the Fin Gold Classic speakers. Now, these speakers have a big woofer and you can hear it right away in the rich, full body sound. The mid-range was strong, the presentation dynamic, and on the drum tracks, I could actually hear the texture of the drum skin. The sound was smooth, easy on the ears, big sound stage, nothing harsh. Did I hear super deep bass? Not really. Maybe I should have requested something with a double bass to find out. Now, they were running on a tube amp, and as a tube fan myself, I think that was a smart choice. It just added an extra layer of warmth. Now, what really intrigued me about these speakers were the two knobs at the bottom labeled Presence and Energy. Now, I'm guessing that they tweaked the crossover to shape the sound, but you know what? I didn't dare touch them because I did not want to get kicked out of the room. Still, a very interesting feature. And that little super tweeter on top, man, it looks cute and expensive at the same time. Every year when I go to an audio show, I tell myself, don't talk about the rooms I had talked about last year. At the show, I met an audio buddy of mine and he said, man, you have to check out the Hearken room. Sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. Now, this audio buddy of mine owns very high-end gear, and when he tells me something is worth listening to, it's worth listening to. So against what I've decided, I've ended up checking out the Hearken room again. The second I walked in, I can hear something special. Now, these are open baffle speakers from Baetis. The model on display was the Imperial Uno. Yeah, over 50 grand. No wonder they sounded good. Now I took a look at their website, and it uses a 12-inch wideband driver for 100 Hz to 7 kHz. Then for the deep bass, it uses a 15-inch floor firing horn woofer. It was using a full tube setup to drive the speakers. Sounded romantic. No sharp edges. Purity in the vocals was amazing. The bass was fast in texture. Not what I would expect from a 15-inch. Now, a few highlights from the rack. You have the Jean Mante reference Gara for one turntable. Really cool. You can change the speed with a simple switch. Okay, are you ready for this? If you start adding all the components, like the Glance 1200 tone arm with Miyajima Zero Mono cartridge, the Birds of Prey tone arm with the Destiny stereo cartridge, we're looking at 50 grand here, man. Yes, this turntable, what you see in front of me, is around 50 grand. Now the speakers were bi-amp with SPL crossover. As I mentioned, it has both a 12-inch and a 15-inch woofer. So for the driver, the 12-inch, it was using a Miyajima 6B4G power amp. For the woofer, Miyajima OTL amp. Yep, the combo cost 30 grand. Yeah, at that price, I better be impressed. And I thought my friend was right, that it was worth checking out this room. Another cool product I saw at the show, the Grand Horizon Marantz Lifestyles Active Speaker that looks like a car tire. Sorry, Marantz. Now the concept reminds me of the Valet speaker, where people would just buy one for background music. Some of you might be wondering why I would bother filming this. I tell you, man, at an audio show, after the 50th room, everything looks the same. So much so that I'm always hunting for the different stuff. Did the speaker sound good? Sure, but I would say it is more for background music. The fact that it is active makes the speaker defies the laws of physics when it comes to bass. I noticed not many people were paying attention to it when I was there, but if you put away your audiophile snobbish hat and just listen to it for what it is, it's actually pretty okay. Now, whether it will pass the wife approval factor, now that's another story. Next is the Solen room. Now Solen is a company I know well because I buy some of my capacitors there. As well, I get building speaker advice from there. At the show, they showcased this full range driver speakers with side woofers. So in some sense, it's a bit like the Sibelius using a full range single driver as the main driver, but instead of using the cabinet to generate the bass like the Sibelius, they use an extra woofer for the bass. Now I've heard these speakers at Solen before, and I like how coherent it sounds, and the amount of bass you can get from this small box is impressive. Now what is more impressive is the designer is a very young gentleman, and his name is Laurent. Now I like the idea of these speakers because they look really small, but they don't sound small. On Solen website, they are now selling speaker kits. Now I listened to these kits, and yeah, they're actually very impressive. Now, too bad in this industry, it doesn't matter if a product is very good or not. If they don't have YouTube exposure, no one will know about them. So if you're interested in me making a video of their unknown speakers but high value, let me know. Who knows, man? Laurent might be the upcoming Andrew Jones 2.0. And by the way, guys, check out these big tube amps. I heard them at Solen before, and seriously, man, look at the size of those tubes. I wonder how much they cost each tube. So I forgot, it was something like $1,000,000 or a tube or something like that. And it sounded really good. It'll probably be able to drive any speakers on the planet. Next, let's talk about ToughNut and Baetis room. I hope I pronounced that right. Now, I wanted to give this brand some exposure because the feet made by ToughNut are so impressive that I'm seriously considering to use them for future Galion products. Now, it also helps that they're located nearby. I always enjoy supporting small local companies, especially now that I've been fortunate to find some success with Galion myself. I genuinely wish others in our industry the very best. Now, on that note, Jay Yagi, you know, that other Asian YouTuber who is almost as cool as me, has already covered ToughNut in a video that's definitely worth watching. So what he did, he measured a range of competing products and showed just how well ToughNut audio, like those products are. I bought a ToughNut rack actually, and I can speak firsthand to what it brings to the table. Now let's talk about the other one instead, the Baetis streamers. Hand built right here in Canada, their banner display multiple awards from well-known publications, so they won a lot of awards. And these are high-end products, with the Mingo Plus streamer retailing around I think $9,000 US. Part of the price reflects the use of premium parts. For example, Mingo Plus uses a JCAT XR network card alone. Now, a network card worth about $1,200. Man, even the internal wiring is carefully selected for sound quality.
One of the challenges that a loudspeaker designer has is to get the sound of a drum kit correct. Now, why is that so difficult? Because it's actually just a wooden stick hitting the skin of a drum, right? That's all it is. But when that stick hits, it doesn't just go thump. There's a whole range of harmonics coming off that drum. And a good drummer will use the sticks and place them on the certain parts of the skin to get nice effects, even tones and even small melodies as well. But the big problem is when that stick hits, it's happening very fast, and you want that whack, and you want to hear that. If you sit in front of a real set of drums and you hear that, you realize how fast it is. And often people talk about fast bass, fast attack. I'm going to show you a little example of what one tiny little 4-inch drive cone can do. No electronics, no crossovers, no nothing, right? Just mounted on top of inside an enclosure, just like the air's enclosed inside it, like a double bass. All right? Want to have a go? Yeah.
Here. So keep in mind, this is just one 4-inch driver, no crossover, nothing, just with a 20-watt Class A amp. So what do you think?
Well. First of all, the speakers just disappeared. It was as if the 3D, we were transported on the soundstage, as if we were a fly, and we sat right in front of the drums, and we could hear everything over our head, the movement of as the stick was hitting different drums. It's the 3D effect is, I'm blown away. I need to run that Coke right now so I can process this. It's I mean, having just one driver doing all of this.
It's amazing.
No, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. I mean, wow, sign me up. Explained to me earlier what it would feel like, and it was beyond what you described. It was on the money. It's exactly like you said. But as an audiophile, that God gave me the ears to hear properly and to feel the sound as if it was going through us.
Yeah.
It's basically that, the sound reaching us. Again, the only way I can really explain it is the 3D effect with only 2 speakers. It's amazing. Good job.
Thank you very much.
Were you expecting that much bass from a 4-inch woofer?
It's not. I wouldn't use the word bass for one reason, because I heard different. I mean, we heard different yesterday. Exhibitors that were promoting their bass, and it's an exaggerated sound of a piece, right? But here, it wasn't an exaggerated sound. It was the pure sound of the instrument with no exaggeration. It's so pure that
Like the live show.
It's basically a live show.
I'm out of words. I mean, describing it, but it's incredible. The bass, 100%. It's there. It's none lacking, none exaggerated. It's pure
non-aggressive.
sound. Non-aggressive also.
Yeah, because sometimes the bass can get a little aggressive.
Oh, you mean that boom, 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 right? Yeah, yeah. Especially at audio shows, right?
Yes.
All right, so Harley, don't forget to buy them breakfast tomorrow now, okay? All right, with that, that's it for our room.
Okay, thanks.
All right, excellent.